a lot of the main faces showing up in this campaign are espousing a lot of the same views the former president does. I mean, we just released tracking this morning that said 57% of potential Republican primary voters have Trump as their first pick. Only 17% of those voters have DeSantis as their first pick. And it's not that he's out of touch with them. This talk about China is actually really interesting. A good chunk of Republican voters, like high 70%, say that they want to see candidates focused on the threat of China. That's a lot more, by the way, than say things about fighting wokeness. We've seen Ron DeSantis focus a lot on his fights with Disney. This China discussion is a lot more on the minds of Republican voters than the Disney issue is. I think you're right that this is coming down to personality. But look, we've got a few months before the Iowa caucuses. We're going to see some of this legal drama unfold. For now, it hasn't hurt Trump, but this one is a little bit different. In the state charges, we can see cameras in the courtroom, and we know that voters can respond to some images they see, especially when it involves a former president being hauled into court.
What I was going to ask you next, which is that the lead that Donald Trump has over any of the rivals is extremely large, and some would say it's almost unassailable at this point. Of course, Ron DeSantis would challenge that view. So that tells you a lot about the loyalty of his supporters. But is that not also worrying, and that it also tells you that a big part of the American public do not trust or believe in the judicial system today?
Yeah, I mean, a good chunk of the Republican electorate thinks that these charges, be them the ones in New York, be them the ones coming down from the federal government, are politically motivated. And that's not good. I mean, we've seen in the last several years an erosion in trust among Americans in a wide range of institutions. I think it was most dramatically seen after the 2020 election result, when the share of Democrats who had trust in elections in the United States surged, and the share of Republicans who trusted it declined dramatically. That's only gotten worse since January 6th. I think looking forward, this is where when you hear older Republicans or old school Republicans talk about these things, they want to see the party kind of defend some of these institutions. The problem is the standard bearer for the Republican Party has so much to benefit today from tearing down the American people's trust in them. I think that's why he's come out so strongly against Fani Willis. I think the campaign's running ads in the United States attacking her. They see political motivation here. The problem is this is not where the larger electorate in the United States is today. Every day we track this, and every day Joe Biden is winning over Donald Trump by a little bit. And I think if you're the Democrats today, you're thinking about how good it would be to run against Donald Trump, to try to revive some of these things that help benefit the Democratic Party in the 2020 elections.